Let's talk about some of the things you need to keep in mind. So what is different with spring break than, say, a fall break or a winter break or something like that?
Yeah, there's some common mistakes that I see over spring break. One of them is skipping out on vaccines.
Okay.
So we know right now that measles cases are rising globally, and the CDC is saying if you're traveling internationally, which a lot of people do over spring break, make sure that you're up to date on your measles vaccine. The other big thing is depending on the destination of where you're going to, that drives what vaccines you get. And now remember, vaccines take 10 to 14 days to take effect. So if you're traveling in a few weeks, getting vaccinated now is really important. We also see more mosquito activity around this time of year around the world, and people often forget to have mosquito protection. It can cause malaria. And so reach out to your doctor because there's a medicine people can take usually 1 to 2 days before their trip to help reduce the risk of getting malaria.
Last thing you want is malaria on your trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one I bet we see quite a bit here in the Valley and other beach locations. That's drinking without, hydrating.
Yeah,
right?
We do see a lot of injuries actually from people who drink too much alcohol. They get dehydrated. Sometimes there's like drownings or risk of drownings, and so that's really concerning. Food safety is another one. Make sure when you're traveling internationally, don't have ice in your drinks. Don't eat fruit that's unwashed. Make sure you're not eating, raw foods from a street vendor because that can cause traveler's diarrhea, which I see a lot of. We talked about the ones for malaria, but if you're going on a cruise, you can certainly get patches for seasickness or motion sickness. If you're going to be taking a long flight or even switching time zones, we can prescribe sleep aids for short term. And then beyond traveler's diarrhea, if you're prone to infections like sinus infections or UTIs, reach out to your doctor because we can give you a pocket prescription for an antibiotic. That way you have it on hand because sometimes when you're in another country, it's harder to get these prescriptions, especially if you know you get
It happened to us in Bali where we had what they called Bali belly.
Oh, goodness.
The kids got hit with it, and the next thing you know, we're in this little tiny emergency room, and there's language barriers and all kinds of issues we're dealing with.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Well, there's a lot to remember. So I tell people the S's for spring break safety. It's sun, shots, swimming, and sanitize. I like to add one more, which is schedule a visit with your doctor if you have any questions.
Thank you, Bianca.
Thanks so much.
It was great talking with you.
It was great to chat with you.
All right.